Could the lack of self-love be the reason why he's not choosing you? Welcome to the Survivor's Journey podcast, where we help detox the Black soul. Hey everyone, welcome to the Survivor Journey Detox the Black Soul podcast. Today, I wanted to talk to you about the road to being chosen. That process when you're sitting back like, why he's not choosing me, right? I find it very interesting how the dating world goes for some of us women. And a lot of it has to do with how women view themselves and how women value themselves when it comes down to this dating world. I think a lot of that, what we do, is out of fear. And so I'm going to talk about that a little bit, because when you're fear walking, you show up in a relationship as the broken version of yourself. And so that's how you behave in the relationship. So you might be saying, so Jonte, what does that look like? Like, what do you mean by that? That looks like tolerating and accepting bad behavior from men. That looks like coming into a relationship without the expectations of him being the man that he's supposed to be for you. Meaning you're doing all the work. You're the one showing up for the relationship. You're setting the dates, right? And that looks like not knowing who you are and what you stand for, which all comes down to desperation. When you throw all those things I just said out the window and you're doing all this work for a relationship, it's just a sign of desperation. And that's lack of self-love with desperation. And it's just fear showing up, right? So let's get into this thing, okay? So ladies, I hate to tell you, but men know when a woman doesn't know her worth. I'm going to say that again. Men know when a woman doesn't know her worth. And he knows when she doesn't know what she stands for. He senses it. He can tell right away if you don't see your crown. In the reality of it, it plays a part on how he's going to treat you. Let me say that again, because y'all know we be like this women intuition. Men got intuition too. And he can tell right away if you know your crown, if you know what you stand for. And that is how he knows how to treat you. Okay? Also, if you haven't listened to the episode I have on fear walking, then baby, you need to stop this one and go to that one. I speak about the type of women who typically fear walks and what fear walking means, okay? So a lot of you just don't know how men operate. See, as women, you need to know how a man operates. Men are not like us. You talk to them as if they are women. They are not. A huge problem is that you don't take the time to understand a man. He want to know you understand him, and he want to know if he's safe with you. But before you can understand anyone, you need to be able to understand who you are and know your worth and what you stand for. It's called self-love, y'all. Self-love, okay? When you understand who you are and what you stand for, you will not tolerate bad behavior, and a man will love you and respect you for it. It raises your value to him. It's like you find wine that sits on that top shelf. You know what I'm saying? Your value. That shows him you know your crown. And when you hear me speak about your crown, I'm speaking about your worth, ladies. Your crown, your worth, okay? And you might be saying, well, Jonte, what is bad behavior? What would you consider as bad behavior? Well, let's talk about that a little bit. Bad behavior is a man wasting your time. If you're spending years with someone and he's not talking to you about the future, then that's bad behavior. Because obviously a man, we know a man knows what he wants very early on, right? We know this. This is not something as women, oh, he needs some time. He's trying to figure out his life. But why at the expense of your time? Why are you allowing this man to figure out his life at the expense of you wasting your time. Help me understand that, because we think it's cute when we sit around and we're like, oh, we've been together for 9 years, 5 years, but deep down inside, you want to get married. Deep down inside, you want something, you want a future with this man. You want to see where this is going with this man. And he just like scratching his head like, shoot. But then you sitting back waiting on him and thinking it's cute to be able to tell people you've been with somebody that long. It's not. It's fear. You stand with him because you afraid of the fact that you might not meet nobody else, or you afraid of being alone. It's fear showing up in your life when you sitting back waiting on a dude like that. You only got one life to live. Why are you going to sit back and allow somebody to waste your time? If that man want to be with you, that man is not going to waste his time with you. All right. So you might be saying, what else, Jonte? What's bad behavior? Bad behavior is a man who cheats on you and you continuously take him back. Fear. Lack of self-love. Bad behavior is a man who doesn't know what he wants with you. Again, fear. Lack of self-love. And if you have to ask a man where he's going, if you got to ask a man where this is going, then you obviously know that that's a problem. Because a man's not going to have you ask that question. He's going to make sure you know where this relationship is going. See, the problem is that we take over the relationship and we drive the relationship instead of allowing a man to be a man. These are men, ladies. Stop treating them like they women. Stop treating them like they little kids. They men. Another reason why he's not choosing you and you don't know where your relationship is going is because you're not giving him a reason to. Let me say that again, because this is a serious problem with us women. You're not giving this man a reason to choose you. I see this so much. It's auditioning for the title. That's what you're just auditioning for the title. You're cooking, you're cleaning, you're washing his clothes, you're setting the dates, you're doing all the work. You're playing wifey before he gives you the title. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I need to show him that I'm a good cook, or I'm going to clean his house, or I'm going to take care of the kids. I need to show him that this is what I'm all about. Like, right? You know how that go. And see, the problem with that is a lot of you women don't realize that that's not even what he's looking for. You're not showing him you, right? When you with a man, you need to be able to show him you. And this is a clear sign of desperation when you auditioning for the title. In your mind, you thinking, oh, I'm doing this because I love him. I want to be with him. I need to show him. But in reality, you already playing the role of a wife without him giving you the title. You're lowering your value to him in his eyes. You're lowering yourself. And I really want to talk about this because for some reason, a lot of women believe that they need to show this man how great of a wife they would be for him instead of him showing you how great of a husband he would be for you. See, when you know your worth and that crown, see, a man going to know he got to prove himself to you. That's why you are valued, because men want to feel like they captured something. They're hunters by nature. They want to be able, they got it. They got the main prize. But when you making him the prize, you changes the role around in the relationship. And then you wondering why the relationship ain't going nowhere, because you done took over the relationship. You done took over his spot. So again, when you understand your crown, you would know that you are the prize, and a man will show you that you are. A man would not waste your time. Hear me out, y'all. I'm telling you, a man that values you and loves you, he will not waste your time. He will not put himself in a position to lose you. Especially if he see you as being the one, he's not going to play around with you. But if you so scared of losing him, you kick into wife role and trying to be the one, again, that's out of fear. And he senses that. Men could tell. They could tell right away. cooking and cleaning and washing his clothes, that's a bonus. Do you know what I mean? That's a bonus. I hear men all the time being like, my wife don't know how to cook. He knew she didn't know how to cook when he married her. He knew that. He knew what type of woman she was. The domestic work around the house, that's a bonus to these men. They like a woman who want to keep a clean house. That's if that's what matters to them. But knowing your worth and who you are and what you stand for, showing him you, the true you, right? So, y'all ever heard that saying when they like, why buy the cow when you're getting the milk for free? It's that. And so many women sit back and do it. You and that man, matter of fact, you and that man can break up today, right? You and that man could break up today. And soon after, he's on his knees asking the next woman for her hand in marriage. It's because she showed him she was of value and she wasn't with all that. And so when you stick in a relationship for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, that may sound good, but if you desire more, what good is that? It's a waste of time, ladies. Stop being afraid to walk away. Stop being afraid of being by yourself, right? Sometimes he just may not be the man for you, and be okay with that. But don't be wasting precious time on someone who is not the one for you. Again, fear, not wanting to be alone. When that shows up, you typically are not in the best version of yourself anyway. When you love yourself enough to know that you deserve what you deserve, you don't play merry-go-round with a man. You don't have time for that. You have a set of requirements for a man before you get serious with him. If he's not ready for a woman like you, he will run and he will find someone who doesn't know her crown. But when you know your crown, you attract those men who are ready for you. But however, you must know who you are and what you stand for. And follow the lead when you're in the dating phase. Stop going ahead of him. When you're ready to move things along before him, then you need to fall back and watch his walk. We only get one life to live. Allow yourself to be with someone who values you. And if not, it's okay to be alone. Enjoy you, learn you, love you. And it's in those moments when you alone and you dating you and you in your single life, that's when you regroup and that's when you begin to know what you want, what you need. But instead, don't be a sucker for love and sitting in a relationship with somebody just so you can say, I had somebody. That's the part that, we get tricky with, especially when it become cuffing season. It's getting cold outside. We want somebody, we want a warm body. But to me, that sounds crazy because I don't want a warm body. I want a man that's going to love me and desire me and going to treat me the way that I'm supposed to be treated. He don't get the privilege to be cuffing next to me. He don't get the privilege to be laying next to me. And a man will love you for that. A man going to know he got somebody. Not someone who just willing to be with somebody just to be with somebody. And he can sit there and be with you for 5, 6, 7 years and not giving you what you desire. And another thing is that a lot of women think they're better than the next woman. That's the problem because it's not necessary that you're better than the next woman. It's just a matter of if he's the right woman for you or not. If you're the right woman for him or not. That's what this is all about. It's not, I'm better than her, so I need to be jumping off the ceiling and swinging around the pole and I got to be... No. Y'all keep listening to these women on this radio and watching these stars and stuff and making them believe you got to be scantily clad and you got to be showing your body and you got to be doing all this for a man. Y'all keep listening to them. Just because a man may look at that, don't mean he value that. And I'm going to say that again. Because he may look at that doesn't mean he values that. Like, is that who he want to be with because you walking around here half naked clothes on, or you around here spinning around on a pole. That doesn't mean he values that. Again, you got to learn how men think. We playing around with our lives and we wasting our time and not really sitting back, building ourselves, loving ourselves, knowing who we are, knowing what we want in life. We want to get it from a dude. We want to get it from a man, you know? Another example, when you accept him projecting bad behavior on another woman. Let me say this again, because I'm going to say this loud and clear. When you accept him projecting bad behavior on another woman, when you involve yourself with the man that is already in a relationship or he's married and you dealing with that guy, let's say he leaves that woman for you. Let's say he does that. Let's say he no longer in that relationship, right? The problem with that is that you've already established the foundation of what is to be expected inside the relationship you guys are going to have. So, because if he's willing to give bad behavior to the woman he was with to see you on the side, you've now given him the permission to have bad behavior in your relationship. And you might be saying, John, say, no, that don't make no sense, right? No, you might be disagreeing with me because why? You think you better than the other woman? Because he told you everything that she wasn't doing, so now you doing it? And listen, it's not going to be one of them things where you say, hey, now you can see other women on me because I was that other woman in your previous relationship. No, that's not how that's going to work, honey. You've established the foundation by allowing the bad behavior, by being a part of it. So now you've sowed seeds of infidelity, sweetheart. It's now rooted in your relationship. So even if it doesn't spread right away, what's going to happen to you is the feelings of guilt going to spread, right? Seeds of insecurity is going to creep in with the thoughts of, what if he do this to me? It happens all the time. Because you already know he was cheating in his previous relationship to be with you, right? So he already showed you that side of him. And you were okay with it. So when you know who you are and what you stand for, you would know that you worth more than being second. Hold on, honey. I'm gonna leave. I'm all the stuff he tell you. And you think it's cute because, he coming to see you on her. But then you don't put yourself in her shoes when it's your turn. You will reap what you sow. I'm telling you, that's the scariest thing. You will reap what you sow. So you wouldn't need to campaign being in his life because he wouldn't let you see that side of him if you the one. He will only want to show you the best side because he sees you as value. If a man is in a relationship with someone, especially a committed relationship with someone, all you got to do is simply say, hey, because listen, while you in this committed relationship, I'm not willing to entertain you. I'm not willing to entertain you. But when and if you become an available man, and if I'm still available, then hey, maybe we can see where this can go. But when you attach yourself to bad behavior, that spreads all over your relationship with that person, either with him doing the same thing to you, or you having those feelings of, what if he gonna do this to me? That's why I always say, be careful how you get into a relationship. Make sure your relationship ends properly so that you can start your new relationship with a man, with him showing you his best self first. It starts with a clean foundation, not a cheating foundation. And in situations like this, you typically show up being desperate, and a man senses this. You think, oh, you showing him that I'm down for him because I'm still sticking with him. But in his mind, he like, dang, what woman gonna deal with me doing this to another woman? And y'all might get together and things might just work out. But you already started your foundation on infidelity, a cheating foundation. Let me say this to you guys again. A man will move heaven and earth for a woman that he sees a value. And a lot of this have to do with not wanting to feel lonely, not feeling like you good enough, not feeling like you can find somebody else, not feeling like you just gonna be single all your life. But see, instead of you taking the time out to get to know yourself and getting to know who you are and dealing with whatever trauma and pain that you've experienced throughout your life, because see, we collect stuff. When we in and out relationships, we collect dings to our heart, little stuff that hurt us. We think about those collections and sort through those collections so that way you can become the best version of yourself. And that way you're not settling just with anybody who give you a smile or anybody who's trying to talk to you and you just like, okay. And it may not be that simple for some of y'all, but some of y'all that's in relationships with these men and y'all scared to walk away from the relationship because y'all feel like, oh, I didn't put so much time in. Hell, I'd rather be by myself to keep putting time in and keep putting time in and wasting my time. If anybody who know me, they would tell you I don't waste my time with people. I believe in my one life. And what I'm not going to do is sit around and waste my time with a man who's not giving me what I believe I should have in life. In a relationship, should I say. If we ain't talking the same language and we ain't walking that same walk, then listen, you're not going to get too much of my time. I'm not playing those games. Now, if you're a woman out here and you want to have fun and enjoy your life, do your thing, sis. Do your thing. But don't get yourself tied up with a guy and wasting time. And especially if he with somebody else, that's not cute. I don't play second for nobody. And what I don't do is beg, borrow, and chase behind no man. Because I know my worth. I don't beg, borrow, chase. That's not going to happen. I ain't about to borrow your man. And I definitely ain't about to chase no man. So when you know yourself and you know your value, and you know who you are and what you stand for, and you know these things, and you don't play around with these things, a man gonna respect you. And little boys who come after you gonna sense this. They gonna already know they ain't measuring up to you. They gonna know, okay, I can't play this with her. Let me go on over here to someone else, because somebody who don't know they crown. Somebody who don't know what they stand for and who they stand for and what they stand for and understand their worth. Let me just go to someone else. And that's good. That saves you the heartache. So this episode was a little serious for me because I truly want us sisters to understand our worth. And a lot of times what happens is that we allow our trauma to get in the way and cloud our vision of what we deserve when it comes down to a man. Even if you grew up without your father, even if you grew up without your mother, even if you feel like you're not the most attractive woman in the world, you get up and you hold your head up and you got to know you're the most attractive woman in the world. If you don't think it, what makes you think somebody else going to think it? And you definitely shouldn't be putting how you feel about yourself in the hands of a man. Because, baby, he'll tell you everything he need to tell you. He already senses that you insecure. He already know you don't know your crown. So he definitely going to talk to you and tell you everything you want to hear. Even if it ain't true to him. So if you're not going to love yourself enough, don't expect somebody else to love you more than you love yourself. Who else going to stand up for you? Especially if you've already been through a lot. Heck, I done been through too much in my life. So I'm definitely not going to allow somebody to come bring more to me. That's not going to happen. This is the Survivor's Journey, Detox the Black Soul podcast. I don't mean to come to you so hard, ladies, but I want y'all to know that we got to start thinking about these things and what we stand for. How we going to teach our young daughters what to accept, what's bad behavior from a guy? How we going to teach our young daughters their value? Hold their head up. You're beautiful. You don't deserve this. If this is what you want in life, then this is what you deserve to have in life. And can't nobody tell you you don't deserve what you want. If this is what you want, you can have it. But just don't be settling with somebody who ain't willing to give it to you, because there's always somebody who is, that's going to love you and going to cherish you and who's going to value you. All right, ladies, I'm going to leave it there. This is Survivor's Journey. This is your host, Jante Bird. And I hope you have a great day. This is the Survivor's Journey Detox the Black Soul podcast. If you like this week's episode, please make sure you like and subscribe. Until next time, y'all, I'll see you next week.